Hello, everybody. You're listening to Let's Master English, and my name is Coach Shane. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Master English, podcast 34. Thank you so much for downloading and listening to this podcast. You're part of my family. Now, this week's podcast is brought to you by Audible. I'm really excited about this. I've been thinking of starting a book club for a long time, and Audible is a perfect partner. So you can get one free audio book if you sign up at www.audibletrial.com/LME. But wait, I'll tell you the book that I'm going to get a little bit later, right before the questions and answers section. Okay? Now, I need to thank the listeners out there who are creating the transcripts, our transcription team. We have a team of excellent people who work very hard to create the transcript of this podcast. And these days, we've got 6 major members. Joaquin, Roberto, Gabriel, Gregorio, Julia, Alex, Jan, or is it Jan, and Maha. Is that 6? That's like 8. 8 people. These guys have been really regular, and the team leader is Azin. And we've got other great people who are participating in this, so if I forgot your name, I sincerely apologize. And I do want to welcome the youngest member of the podcast team. This guy's a high schooler, Burhan. Thanks so much. You guys are helping so many people by creating a transcript of this podcast, and I'm sure those people love your transcripts, and thanks a lot, guys. You're really special. Okay, enough chit-chat. I'll tell you how to get their transcripts later. Enough chit-chat. It's time to start with the Let's Master English news. Summer's on for many of LME's listeners. While some places may be having a cooler time of it, lots of places are sizzling. So the question is, how to remain cool under a blistering summer sun? Believe it or not, hot coffee may be just the thing. As long as you are hydrated, drinking hot coffee will actually make you sweat, which in turn will cool you off. So grab yourself a piping hot Java, and I'll see you poolside. Okay, today's news. I think many of you perhaps, have the basic idea. If it's a hot summer, drink hot coffee. It sounds crazy. Let's listen again. Summer's on for many of LME's listeners. While some places may be having a cooler time of it, lots of places are sizzling. So the question is how to remain cool under a blistering summer sun. Believe it or not, hot coffee may be just the thing. As long as you are hydrated, drinking hot coffee will actually make you sweat, which in turn will cool you off. So grab yourself a piping hot Java, and I'll see you poolside. Okay, so let's go back to the first sentence. Summer's on for many of LME's listeners. LME, Let's Master English, LME's listeners, that's you. You are listening to LME, Let's Master English, our podcast. Summer is on for many of LME's listeners. So summer's on means that summer is here. Absolutely We're in July. It's July 7th today. Summer is here. June sometimes is a little bit cool, but July and August, those are usually the hottest months of the year. But not for every LME listener. For many LME listeners, but not every, because if some people are listening in Australia, or even in Chile, or Argentina, or Brazil, it might actually be the winter. They live in the southern hemisphere, but I know that many of my listeners live in the northern hemisphere, and it is summertime. It's also very hot. The next sentence. While some places may be having a cooler time of it, lots of places are sizzling. So it's summertime, and in some areas, in some places, it's actually not that hot. I know that in Moscow and Germany, maybe Poland, it was kind of a slow start to summer, not super hot. But other places, it's really hot. Like in America, I know in China, Korea, Japan, these days, it has been really hot. So the sentence again, while some places may be, that is, might be having a cooler time of it. So of it means of the summer. So some places are having a cooler summer, not that hot. Lots of places, many other places, are sizzling. Oh, this is a good word. Sizzling. S-I-Z-Z-L-E, but in this case, S-I-Z-Z-L-I-N-G. Sizzling means very hot. Listen to the sound. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. This is actually the word that we use to describe the sound you hear when meat is cooking. So if you have a frying pan or maybe a grill, a barbecue grill, and you put meat on to cook, you hear that's the sizzling sound. And for some of us, the summer is sizzling. Oof. So the sentence again. While some places may be having a cooler time of it, lots of places are sizzling. So the question we must ask, especially where it's really hot, how to remain cool under a blistering summer sun. So it's a simple question. How can we stay cool? Not too hot, under a summer sun. But it's not just a summer sun, it's a blistering summer sun. Blistering, B-L-I-S-T-E-R-I-N-G. Blistering also means very hot. So sizzling weather, blistering weather, a sizzling sun, a blistering sun means a really hot sun. Now, blister is actually a scary word. Blistering sun might cause burning, a sunburn on your skin. And if a sunburn on your skin gets really bad, it can actually cause a blister. B-L-I-S-T-E-R. And a blister, at first, it looks like a bump on your skin, like a pimple. But then it can actually erupt or open, and it gets really sore and very painful. Yeah, so a blistering summer sun is very scary. So once again, so the question is, how to remain cool under a blistering summer sun? Okay, now here's the answer to the question. Believe it or not, hot coffee may be just the thing. So believe it or not, that means this might be hard to believe. However, hot coffee may be, and once again, might be just the thing. Now, this is another great expression. If something is just the thing, it's the answer to the question. It will solve the problem. So here the problem, how to remain cool under a blistering summer sun, and the answer, believe it or not, hot coffee. That sounds crazy. We need an explanation. The next sentence. As long as you are hydrated, drinking hot coffee will actually make you sweat, which in turn will cool you off. Okay, so as long as you are hydrated, so the key word here, hydrated, Hydrated. If you are hydrated, that means your body has enough water. Your skin is not too dry, your insides are not too dry. So if you have enough water, as long as you are hydrated, drinking hot coffee will actually make you sweat. Okay, I think everybody knows what sweat means, S-W-E-A-T. When it's really hot, your body perspires or sweats. Water comes out of your skin. And drinking hot coffee will make you sweat as long as you are hydrated. And this sweating, your body's process of sweating, will cool you off. It will make you cooler. That's your body's natural mechanism to make you feel cool. So the sentence again, as long as you are hydrated, drinking hot coffee will actually make you sweat, which in turn will cool you off, which therefore will cool you off, which will subsequently cool you off. Do you understand? All right, and here's the last sentence. So, grab yourself a piping hot Java, and I'll see you poolside. Okay, so grab yourself, get yourself. Now, it could mean pour yourself, P-O-U-R, buy yourself, B-U-Y, make yourself, M-A-K-E, make yourself what? Pour yourself what? Buy yourself what? A piping hot Java. So piping hot, P-I-P-I-N-G, piping hot means super hot, very hot. But we say piping hot to usually describe a food or a drink. So sizzling is usually the weather. Blistering is usually the sun. Piping hot is usually a drink or a food. So grab yourself a piping hot coffee. In this case, I said Java, J-A-V-A. Java means coffee. Now, around the world, I think we know that parts of Africa and Brazil and Colombia are very famous for coffee, but also parts of Indonesia. And there's an island called Java, which is also very famous for making coffee. It's also the same name of the computer language, Java. And if you look at the computer language Java symbol, you see a coffee cup. Okay? So grab yourself a piping hot Java, and I'll see you poolside. So if you get yourself some coffee, you can find me next to the pool. I'll be sitting at the pool with my piping hot Java, trying to remain cool under the blistering summer sun. So there you go. That is today's news. It's some interesting research that we found online. So what do you think? Do you drink piping hot coffee in the summertime? Believe it or not, I do. almost every day, I get myself a piping hot caramel macchiato from Starbucks. And that gives me my caffeine to have the energy through the day. They do have iced coffee, but I don't know. I prefer the hot coffee. Even like right now, let me check here. Hold on a second. What is the temperature right now? It is 105 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 41 degrees Celsius. But next to me is a nice hot coffee. Yeah, I don't know. I'm crazy. It makes me feel cool. I like it. What about you? How do you remain cool under a blistering summer sun? And how is this summer? Are you having a cooler time of it? Is this summer not too hot? Or is this summer sizzling? Is it really hot for you? Tell me about your weather and tell me how you stay cool in the summertime. And don't worry, if you're in the southern hemisphere where it's winter, tell me, how are you staying warm? Maybe with the same thing, a piping hot Java. Okay, so we got some great words once again. Sizzling, S-I-Z-Z-L-I-N-G, very hot. The sound you hear when you're cooking something like meat. Blistering, B-L-I-S-T-E-R-I-N-G, very hot. Again, especially we use that word to describe the sun. Blistering sun. Something is just the thing. Something is the answer. It will solve the problem. Hydrated, H-Y-D-R-A-T-E-D, to have enough water in your body. Which in turn, which will therefore, and will subsequently, piping hot, P-I-P-I-N-G, piping hot, also very hot, super hot, especially used to describe foods and drinks. And finally, Java. Now, Java, if you are naming the country, it's a capital J-A-V-A. That's a big J, A-V-A. But if you're talking about just coffee, it's a small letter J, A-V-A. Java. Java. I like my Java. Okay, those are the words. So I'm going to read the story 2 more times. The first time, nice and slow. I want you to say it with me. And the second time, normal speed. Okay? Here we go. Summer's on for many of LME's listeners. While some places may be having a cooler time of it, lots of places are sizzling. So, the question is, how to remain cool under a blistering summer sun? Believe it or not, hot coffee may be just the thing. As long as you are hydrated, drinking hot coffee will actually make you sweat, which in turn will cool you off. So, grab yourself a piping hot Java, and I'll see you poolside. Summer's on for many of LME's listeners. While some places may be having a cooler time of it, lots of places are sizzling. So, the question is, how to remain cool under a blistering summer sun? Believe it or not, hot coffee may be just the thing. As long as you're hydrated, drinking hot coffee will actually make you sweat, which in turn will cool you off. So, grab yourself a piping hot Java, and I'll see you poolside. How you doing, everybody? This is Country Shane, and I'm here to bring you the facts. The most expensive coffee in the world is Kopi Luwak. It's $100 for a tiny cup. The coffee beans used to make the coffee come out of the poop of a civet. A civet is a cat-like critter that lives in trees. Gross! This has been Country Shane bringing you the facts. Wow. Kopi Luwak. $100 for a tiny cup of Kopi Luwak coffee. It's the most expensive coffee in the world. And where does the coffee come from? It comes from beans, of course, coffee beans. But where do those beans come from? The poop of an animal. The animal is called a civet. And the civet looks like a cat, but it's not really a cat. But when this cat goes poop, somebody goes into the poop and finds the beans and then makes coffee and sells it for $100 for a tiny cup. Oh my goodness, that sounds disgusting. You know, a long time ago, one of my students in Korea gave me some of this Kopi Luwak. And yeah, I still have, I think, 2 little tiny bags of it. And personally, I have not drank it. I give it to friends as a special, gift if they visit my house. But I don't know, $100 for a tiny cup of poop coffee? Sounds pretty crazy. Thanks for the fact, Country Shane. All right, everybody, it's time for the questions and answers. But first, let me tell you again about our sponsor this week, Audible. Once again, this is so exciting. For several months, I've been wanting to start a book club. Teaching English, people like to read books. It could be lots of fun, but lots of work too. It's not easy reading books. So what I really wanted to do was Audible books. And that means, books that are recorded so you can listen to the books. Now, Audible books are actually pretty expensive. I was looking at a book the other day that I was interested in buying, and it was $30 for the Audible book. So, yeah, that's a little bit expensive. But then Audible contacted me and said, why don't we be partners? And I looked at the situation, and it looks great. So if you sign up, if you go to www.audibletrial.com, and the spelling is www.audibletrial.com/LME. Of course, the LME means Let's Master English. So if you go to this site, it's going to take you to Audible, and you can sign up for a free audio book. That's awesome. And they've got over 100,000 different books. And it's begun. I'm going to start my book club. And I was looking at all the different types of books. They have everything. And sometimes books, to read English books, it can be difficult. But listening to English books can really be tough. But hey, you guys are studying English. My specialty is listening and listening comprehension. So this is a perfect match for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this book, Mitch Albom's, that's the author name, Mitch Albom, Tuesdays with Maury. And once again, if you go to Audible, audibletrial.com/LME, and you search for Tuesdays with Maury, you're going to see a couple of different versions. So I'm going to tell you exactly which one I'm getting. I'm getting Tuesdays with Maury 10th Anniversary Edition. All right, and the regular price is $15.93. But if you sign up, once again, with audibletrial.com/LME, it's free. And it's 3 hours and 41 minutes long. So that's a pretty good length. Some of these audiobooks are like 20 hours long. So they can get pretty big and they can get pretty expensive. Now, once again, if you sign up, the first month is free and you can cancel. There's no problems with that. But if you decide to join, what I'm going to do is every month I'm going to pick a new book. And maybe you've read this book. That's okay. I don't think you've listened to the book. So it's all about listening and English. That's the idea. And it should be pretty fun. Now, if you sign up, it's, I think, $15 a month. What is it? I'm looking here. Hold on a second. I'm going through the procedure. Yes, it's $14.95 a month. And with that payment every month, after the first month, you can get another free audio book. So it's a good deal. If you're interested in books, and if you're interested in listening, and interested in listening to books in English, this is a great opportunity. So our first book, once again, is Mitch Albom. That's the author's name, Mitchalbom, Mitch Albom. And the book that I'm going to start with is Tuesdays with Maury. That's Morrie, the 10th Anniversary Edition. So if you want to join my book club, then sign up. And then I want you to send me an email. Take a screen capture of when you signed up and send me an email. And I will send you an email about when we actually are going to start. Probably I'll talk about the book and I'll answer some questions about the book. So it should be lots of fun. I'm hoping this will be interesting and beneficial for everybody. Now, I should tell you, this is a sponsor of the podcast. So if you sign up at audibletrial.com/LME, they will pay me some money. Not a lot, but every little bit helps. Believe me, times are not easy. And then if you choose to remain a member, you'll have to pay $15 a month after that. And I don't get any money from that point on. But I think this is a great opportunity. If you're interested, once again, go to www.audibletrial.com/LME. And I'll put that address in the notes below, and we'll also put it in the newsletter too. So, thanks a lot, Audible. This, I think, might be a great opportunity for everybody. Now, for some questions. So, I get lots of letters from people around the world asking, for that personal help. And I recently got a letter from San Luin, and he's from Myanmar. And he really wants me to help him, actually to help his two children. He's got two boys, 14 and 12. And he wants me to help them with their English, their pronunciation, their expressions, and things like that. And it's really hard for me. I can't do personal lessons, San Luin. It's just too difficult. I'm already really busy. He asked for my mobile phone number and my email address, and believe it or not, I don't have a cell phone. I don't have a mobile phone. And for my email, every day I get about 200 emails, so it's really hard to answer everybody, and I do try my best, but it's really difficult. So how can I help you? Well, like I tell everybody, if you really want to study English with me, start with my YouTube channel called Daily Dictation. It's www.youtube.com youtube.com/dailydictation. And on that channel, start at lesson 1. I have 250 lessons that will help you with your listening skills, your pronunciation skills, expressions, everything. They're really good classes to start with. And after that, if you can, join DDM, Daily Dictation Members. That's our premium English class online. It's outstanding. It's lots of fun. And if you want to get 8 free lessons of DDM, you can go to www.letsmasterenglish.com/tryddm. And then we'll send you a link so that you can download 8 lessons of DDM. That's 1 month's worth of lessons. And you can study for free. So, San Lin, I hope that answers your question. And he says, don't ignore me. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to ignore you. It's just there are so many emails and it's hard to reply to everybody. But thank you very much for the question. Okay, our next question was not really a question, but it's from Simon Konachek. And we were talking about doing the subtitles in my videos on YouTube, and I said I don't do subtitles because I want people to focus on listening skills, body language, expressions. I want people to stop looking at a book and start looking at English speakers. So what he says, what should we do? In school, we study the grammar and the rules all the time. Should we just watch TV shows in English? Well, no, you shouldn't just watch TV shows, but by watching TV shows, by finding a television show that you enjoy, and by watching it every week or even every day, it will greatly help your understanding on how Americans speak English. You'll hear the pronunciation, you'll hear the expressions, and it really is beneficial. So for a student, a high school student, a middle school student, a college student, yes, you've got to focus on the grammar, the structure, the vocabulary, absolutely. But my target student is actually the professional. People in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Most of my students are in their 30s and 40s. And they're sick of the books. And I understand. When I studied the Korean language, the books were really boring. They help. They definitely help. They're important. But I got the most benefit from watching Korean TV shows, listening to Korean music, watching Korean movies, and listening and trying to talk with my Korean friends. That's how I was able to master the Korean language. So, is there any one answer? No. There are many methods for learning English. My focus is on the listening, the body language, the expressions, the intonation. That's my area, and that's why I pushed that, Simon. So I hope that's an okay answer for you. Our next question comes from Jesus. And Jesus says, please explain the difference between plenty, P-L-E-N-T-Y, many, M-A-N-Y, several, S-E-V-E-R-A-L, much, M-U-C-H, and a lot of, A-L-O-T-O-F. That's 3 words, a lot of. And he says, by the way, you rock. You rock too, Jesus. Okay, well, first of all, when we say many, M-A-N-Y, we use it with a noun that is countable, that is plural, with an S. So I have many pencils with an S. You need the S. I have many pencil? No. Can't do it. Now, that's a countable noun. Pencils are countable. We can count the number of pencils. But some nouns are non-count nouns, or they're uncountable. For example, space, S-P-A-C-E. So can we say, I have many space? No, you cannot. Many requires a countable noun that's plural with an S. And the same with several. I have several pencils. You must have a noun that's plural with an S. Okay, so many and several, you can use them the same. Is there a difference? Many, that's like maybe 10, 12 pencils. I have several pencils. That's a little bit less than many, maybe 5 or 6. There's no exact number, but many is actually more than several. Now, I have a lot of pencils. That's perfect. I have a lot of pencils, probably 10, 20 pencils. I have a lot of space. Okay, now, a lot of works with both countable and uncountable nouns. I have a lot of money. I have a lot of coins. Both work. And the same with plenty. I have plenty of pencils. I have plenty of space. They work the same. So a lot of, 10, 20. Plenty means enough. I have enough. I have plenty of pencils. I have plenty of space. I have enough pencils. I have enough space. Same idea. And then we go to the word much. Now, much is only used with non-count nouns. I don't have much space. I don't have a lot of space. This is the idea. There isn't much space. There's not enough room. This is the idea, or there's not too much room. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So many and several only use with countable nouns, plural with an S. A lot of and plenty can work with non-count nouns and countable nouns. And much is used with non-count nouns. Does that make sense? I hope so. Now, our next question is from Narcissi, and she is one of our bloggers. So if you look at our show notes, we have a list of blogs, and she has a brand new blog in the Persian language. So thank you very much. Now, Narcissi says she likes to watch the TV show The Simpsons. And she says, if I understand all the sentences in The Simpsons, can I say that I'm fluent in American English? Maybe, yes. Now, to be honest, I don't recommend The Simpsons as your foundation for American English, but it definitely is an entertaining way to study English. And if you understand everything The Simpsons say, then your understanding of American English and American culture is really excellent. Now, to be honest, my recommendation for a TV show is Seinfeld. But you guys, you pick your own TV shows. That's totally fine. So yes, understanding The Simpsons will definitely make your English, American English, really good. And she has another question. I think it's a she. Americans say, I wish I were a dentist. But I've also heard, I wish I was a dentist. I wish I were there. I wish I was there. Which is right? Is one of them wrong? Well, grammatically, I wish I were is correct. However, many Americans do say, I wish I was. So in your grammar textbooks, if you're taking a test at school, remember, I wish I were. I always recommend students to use the best grammar they know. But when it comes to real English, real American English, you will hear many Americans changing the grammar rules and they don't care. So yeah, it's wrong to say was, but many Americans do. So Narcissi, if you are going to say I wish, please say were. I wish I were a dentist. Okay? And we've got one more question, and this is an audio question from Tulio Brasileiro. I hope my pronunciation was okay. Now, Tulio was watching my can't video. And he says, C-A-N, is no problem, basically. When I do the an sound, it has a nasal sound, but he says that's common in Brazil, but it's the same in America. Is kind of a nasal sound. So if your nasal sound for if you use a nasal sound, that's okay. But the problem is can't. And Tulio says, I tend to pronounce it like can plus a glottal stop. Okay, now these days, I've been thinking about the glottal stop. So I do have a comment about this. And he also adds, if I say the word can't, and the next word begins with a vowel, for example, can't even, can I use a flap T? All right, well, let's listen to Tulio's pronunciation, and then I'll give my answers, okay?
He can go. He can't go. She can buy it. She can't buy it. She can buy it. She can't buy it. I can try this. I can't even try this. I can't even try this. I can't even try this.
First of all, Tulio, your pronunciation is really good. I'm very impressed. Now, regarding can't with a glottal stop. So if we say he can't go, and we say it fast, he can't go. He can't go. He can't go. This is a problem for me. The glottal stop, everybody, is in your throat, when your throat closes off the sound. There's another stop, and I call it the T stop sound. And what that is, it's not in your throat. It's actually when the tip of your tongue goes to the T, can't, but doesn't finish. I can't go. I can't go. Now, in my case, many times when I say I can't go, it's not a glottal stop. It's actually a frontal stop. I'm stopping the T where the tongue touches the roof of the mouth or the alveolar ridge. So if you're doing a glottal stop, it sounds fine. I'm listening to your pronunciation and it sounds fine, but I'm not too sure about the glottal stop. Is it a glottal stop or is it just a T stop? That's my question. But your pronunciation sounds fine. Now, I can't even try this. So here, can the T be a flap T? Yeah, it's possible. I can't even. That's a really slight flap T. But I think most Americans will still use a stop T. I can't even try this. I can't even try this. And we really say the can't really strong. Or we keep the T. I can't even try this. I can't even try this. Now, my recommendation, Tulio, is keep doing what you're doing. It sounds really good. Regarding the flap T or the clear T for linking, not too common. My recommendation is actually a stop T. I can't even go there. I can't even try this. Try a stop T. And if you're doing a glottal stop and it works for you, that's great. If you're doing a frontal stop and that works, that's also great. What's important is when we say can't, make sure your expression, your body language, your eyes, your head says can't. It's not just the sound, it's the whole language process. When you say can, you should be nodding your head up and down. When you say can't, you should be showing it in your expression. You can't do it. Does that make sense, Tulio? Thank you so much. Great questions, everybody. Whew, that was a long podcast. I hope you didn't fall asleep. Are you still listening? If you're still listening to the podcast, send me a tweet. My Twitter ID is @CoachShane. Or go to Facebook. Our Facebook community is ESL Coach Shane. By the way, everybody, it's Coach Shane, CoachShane. And we also have a community on Google+, and that community is Let's Master English. And if you join our community, that is where you will find the transcript team. They do a great job, and they're always looking for volunteers. So if you would like to do a part of this podcast or a future podcast, leave a message for Azine, and I'm sure she will find a place for you. Don't forget, if you have an Android phone or an Android tablet, Max has created a fantastic app. So go to Google Play and search for Let's Master English Podcast and download that app. Put it right onto your phone and listen to Let's Master English whenever you have a chance. Also, we have the new book club, LME Book Club. And the book club, the first book that we're going to study is Tuesdays with Maury, the 10th anniversary edition by Mitch Albom. And if you want to get this book for free, you can sign up and help me out in the process. You can go to www.audibletrial, that's AUDIBLETRIAL.com/LME. And that's it. And then you go through their information process, sign up, and you'll get the book for free. And we can study the book together. That should be lots of fun. Also, we have a Patreon campaign. And what that is, it's where you can sponsor me for $1 a month. Or if you're rich, $5 a month, or even more, whatever you want. Now, if you don't have money, if you don't have the extra money, don't worry about it. I promise to keep making this podcast for as long as I can, for as long as you listen. And we have my daily podcast, Daily Easy English Expression. I've got the daily E-Cubed videos. We've got Coach Shane's ESL videos, daily dictation videos. I will continue to make those videos, and they're all for free. And but if you can help me out, $1 a month or whatever, please go to www.patreon.com. That's Patreon. www.patreon.com/Coach Shane, and you can help sponsor me, and that would mean so much. This is my full-time job, and I'll be honest. Am I making money? No. Am I losing money? No. Actually, every month, I'll be honest, I'm saving about $100, but always something comes up. It's not good. So things I want to do in the future, if you guys can sponsor me, I want to create an excellent website so that it's easy to find all of my classes. And also, I want to get a car. I don't have a car, and I would love to get a car so that I can go out and take lots of video in real America, in the city, in the stores, in the country, Grand Canyon, the different areas, the different beautiful, beautiful areas. If you've ever been to America, you might know that it's really difficult to go any place without a car. So I'm surviving, no problem. But if I did get a nice sponsorship, if people were able to help, then I would definitely be able to make better classes, more interesting classes, more real English. Okay, I'm talking way too much. I need to say thank you to everybody for listening to Let's Master English. You guys are my family, and you mean so much to me. So thanks a lot. You guys have a fantastic week, and remember, together, let's master English!